you can wait to buy a car, just wait to buy a car.
For those of you that don't know, the car market has been crashing big time.
Average price for a vehicle right now is around $50,000, and this is making people scared to go purchase a new vehicle.
What's up, Financial Hacks? So in today's video, we're going to be going over some more car stuff or the car market right now and kind of just show you guys the disaster that we're in. And it looks like it just has not been going really well like these last several months to a year plus actually right now. So let's go ahead and first look at this quick clip, and then we'll kind of just be going over another video from a guy on YouTube. I forgot his name, but you guys will see that soon. And he's been just giving us some great updates on the car market. He owns his own car lot, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he'll kind of just be going over that. And I'll kind of just share my thoughts and kind of what I've been seeing in the car market right now. So let's go ahead and start out with this.
But is it a good time to buy now, or should you wait a little bit? According to the last 24 months of data, the average used car right now sells for right above $26,000, and Car Gurus actually has used car prices down 1.31% over the last 30 days. That's not super significant, but wholesale used car prices are actually down 7% year over year. And that's a pretty good indicator for us to look at, because retail prices usually lag the wholesale prices by about 2 or 3 months. New vehicle inventories are up as well, back to pre-pandemic levels, about 3 million units. And the days of supply that most people have, or most automakers have, is around 71 days as of right now. Back in 2022, that was maybe around 18 or 19 days. Another factor affecting dealers is the high elevated interest rates. While they also affect the consumer, which is us when we go to buy a car, the dealers also have to deal with that because they're usually on a revolving line of credit from their manufacturer. So that means the longer that their cars sit on the lot, the more that they're paying. If you're in the market to buy a car, I would wait probably 90 days, 60 to 90 days-ish, and that's probably when you're going to see prices come down way more than they are right now, as well as the fact that the seller's market is now slowly turning back into a buyer's market for cars, which makes sense because cars are depreciating assets. You probably shouldn't be negotiating with a seller to pay over MSRP, so hopefully that's not the case later this year.
Yeah. I think those were pretty good stats. Again, I look at the chart he brought up was in 2023, but he's saying to wait, possibly 60 to 90 days, because you don't want to be negotiating with the people to pay over MSRP. But yeah, like how things are going right now, and again, depending on what type of car you're trying to get, it is really bad if you're trying to actually buy a car right now for the lower price versus a higher price. So let's go ahead and bring up this next video here and let's go through this. And I think you guys should be able to see it now. Cool. And yeah, this is CQA Live.
So today I'm out here at a CarMax lot, and I want to show you what they are selling their cars for. The reason why I'm here is because they are loaded up with inventory that is constantly going down in value. We know that the used car.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of videos talking about CarMax actually, or not just CarMax in general, but like a lot of these places are just getting having so much cars now because everything's too high right now, and like the amount of money, inflation going up, everybody's money going down. It's just you can't just really afford it. And now we're not even talking about the repos. I might do another video talking about the repos. The repos have been crazy. It seems like every freaking month, every 2 months, every 3 months, it seems like it's like a record amount of repos. I've even seen videos of like brand new cars are getting repoed. Like, bruh, a car that's kind of just been out for 2 or 3 months already getting repoed. People can't afford a lot of this.
Car market is getting hit in a big way. CarMax is going to take the brunt of that because they're losing money on not only their inventory, but on a lot of loans that they're going to be writing as these values are getting crushed. And we also know that auto loan delinquencies and repos are going up. This is another big negative for CarMax going forward. But I want to start here. This truck is way too blue for us not to look at. This is a Toyota.
Yeah, that is a blue car. It's a Toyota, but yeah, that is a blue. That's a very blue car.
A Tundra, and this truck right here you can see has got 54,000 miles. It's a 2019, and they're selling it for $51,000. Absolutely ridiculous. This is the big problem what we're seeing with all these manufacturers, and then it's making its way over to the used car side because these MSRPs got way too high. So you're getting to where you have a 3-year-old truck that if a consumer wants to buy it, they still have to shell out $50,000. And the problem with that is what, just 4 or 5 years ago, you could buy a very, very, very nice, a sweet, brand new truck for that kind of money. And we're seeing.
Yeah, again, it's just within a short amount of time, just everything has just increased. Not just the payments, but also interest rates too. Which is again, it's just crazy, kind of just seeing the numbers on that.
Another issue right here that we're seeing in the market, Ford dealers cannot get these Mavericks. It's weird though, because every time I go to one of these CarMax lots, I always see these Ford Mavericks here. So let's look at this one. This is a 2023 Ford Maverick XL. It's got 5,000 miles. So I get a lot of questions. Now I'll show you the price. It's $31,000.
Wow.
Oh, there you go. So I get a lot of questions about, okay, how can cars at CarMax only have 5,000 miles? I've seen cars here with 1,000 miles on it. This was not traded in by a consumer, most likely. The CarMax probably bought this from a auction or bought it straight from a Ford dealer that wanted to move some of their vehicles, maybe even fleet style vehicles, because this is an XL. It's got just like these like aluminum wheels or whatever, nothing fancy. This is the base model of what you'll see in these Ford Mavericks. So if Ford was wanting to move a lot of them in high quantity, especially these fleet style kind of units, which the XLs are, then they could move a lot of them in one clip. Oh, here's another one. There you go. That's an XLT, so that's a little bit higher.
Okay, let's just kind of skip a little bit further in this. But he talked about them buying it at those auctions. I want to say maybe it was him or maybe it was another YouTuber, but they were also talking about this. You can get like some, obviously better deals at the auction, but a lot of these auction cars were like dang near brand new or like very, very new versus how it was like in the past. And again, because nobody can afford this stuff, man.
You can get that brand new Maverick at that Ford dealership cheaper than you can buy that used one down there. This one is also very interesting. I don't see a sticker on this one, but I did see another Ford Lightning.
Yeah, he just said you can buy. I guess he's just on another car in between there, but you can buy a newer car at a slightly lower price than the actual used car, which again makes no sense. But that's kind of just where we're at right now.
Right down here, we can see it behind me, right there. So we're going to check this one out. The problem with these EVs, especially the Ford Lightnings. See, this one right here is $22,000, 7,000 miles, and they're selling it for $47,000. So here is the problem with a lot of these EVs. The used car market is getting crushed. Wholesale value is getting crushed. We know that, right? But that's not even close to how bad the EV market is getting hit. And then you could even...
Yeah, and let's talk about EVs real quick. Let's go ahead and just take this is very quickly, but the market on EVs is crazy too. Like I've seen like Teslas, for example, like only like a year old already being like 20,000, like between 20 and 30K, like a Model 3 Tesla. And a lot of these other EVs, I'm kind of seeing some of the stats. Those, oh man, they lose their value very, very, very quickly. So if you're looking for a car you can like sell it like within like a year or two, definitely don't get an electric vehicle right now for that. Those will lose its value very quickly. A car that I've seen keep its value um very well. It's kind of just been a lot of the regular, gasoline cars right now, of course, as you guys are seeing right now with the used prices. But a specific car would be the GR86. Kind of been looking at that a lot, and yeah, that one has been up there still, even a 2022. You're still, like they're still listing that at 35,000 when the original MSRP for that was about like 29,000. So yeah, everywhere is crazy right now. But yeah, for electric vehicles, so man, yeah, if you're trying to get a used one on that, you probably can get that for the cheaper. But if you're thinking about getting one and then like selling it like the next year or so, yeah, you're gonna be losing money because those things have tanked on that. But let's go ahead and let him continue.
Segment out the Ford EVs versus the Teslas. That's a whole different market. So that consumer, let's go back.
Yeah, that's a
We got to
different
talk about
consumer
this
too.
consumer.
That's true.
This consumer bought this truck in 2022, probably 2021. And now they're selling it for $47,000. But that consumer probably paid on top of I almost dropped the camera. Yeah, we can keep that in. On top of whatever that MSRP was on that Ford Lightning, that consumer probably paid a dealer market adjustment because 2-3 years ago, every Ford Lightning had a market adjustment on it. And they were selling for $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. So that consumer, for CarMax to be able to buy that truck, that CarMax probably only paid $35,000 to that consumer. So think about how much money that consumer has lost on that truck,
Man.
in just the last 2 to 3 years. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And that's what we're seeing across the EV market, especially with the Fords, the Mach-E's, and the F-150 Lightnings.
Okay, now let's go ahead and just go further in.
In a situation where you have a downtrending economy, when you have more subprime loans going delinquent, when you have more repos stacking up, because not only is CarMax,
the repos are going up. It's crazy, the amount of like all cars, especially those Hellcats and other cars, but it's just crazy.
getting hit on prices going down of all their inventory that's sitting out here, but they're also going to get hit when they have to go repossess these cars. And if these cars were bought 2 years ago when we had a big supply crunch, then that customer probably owes still a lot more money than what the car is even worth, because we know that payments on these cars, the amount that they're paying down these loans, have not outpaced how much vehicles have dropped and how much depreciation is going to hit these cars 2 years after they paid well over. I mean, a lot of these cars still, you can, if they're 1-2 years old, are still more expensive here than you can go buy a brand new one for. But even 2 years ago, they were way, way more expensive than what you could buy a brand new one for. But I wanted to come to the like the 4-door sedans too. I want to check a couple of those. Okay. This is like a Honda, like a little Honda Accord. It's a hybrid. We'll check it.
Okay, let's do the hybrid.
2018 Honda Accord hybrid. It's got 56,000 miles on it, and they're selling it for $23,000. And what's interesting is I've been looking now at like newer Honda Accords, newer Honda Civics, things like that, and seeing what the price ranges are. And you can get them anywhere from like $23,000 as MSRP all the way up to, I mean, whatever you can think about depending on the package, but what's that, $33,000, $35,000.
Okay.
But it's just interesting to see the difference between what it costs to buy one of these used ones here at CarMax versus what you would buy a new one. And I would almost never recommend that someone buy a new vehicle over a used car, just because you get so much accelerated depreciation in the first few years of ownership. But if you're looking at CarMax and you just want the easy buying experience, I would push you to a new car before I would put you in a car here at CarMax, just because the prices on these used vehicles are so high.
Yeah, again, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's crazy. Now, to be fair, for CarMax, they are higher. Well, at least from what I've been hearing, they're kind of like slightly higher, but you don't have to worry about, like, I guess, negotiating and doing all the extra stuff as much as you would at a regular dealership. But let's go ahead and just go slightly to the end here. See his last statements.
You can thank Elon for that, and you can thank Hertz. So Hertz is now dumping a lot of their Model 3s into the market, and it's absolutely cratering the EV market. I've been paying attention to that a lot.
Yeah, I was talking about the Model 3.
Potentially buy some.
Yeah, I was literally just talking about the Tesla Model 3. How you can get a used one super cheap. If you're trying to get that new, you're going to lose so much value that next year. Is like insane. Don't try to sell it the next year.
But the prices are just all over the place. That's because no one knows exactly what the value of a lot of these EVs should be. And CarMax, they're a publicly traded company. So things that are uncertain, that's not what shareholders want. And those things right now, especially the values of them, they're uncertain. So CarMax is probably doing the right thing as far as lightening up the load and how many EVs that they actually have on this lot. Last time I come here maybe once every 2 months just to check on prices, check on how things are moving. They had probably about 10 Teslas here, and now they only have one. And I don't think it's an element of them selling them really quickly. I think it's an element of them buying fewer of them. And that's something that I'll look to see going forward as the used EV market stays as volatile as it is.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and end that right there. But yeah, it was some good tea. Kind of again, he kind of went over some of the stuff I've kind of went over maybe in previous videos this year and last year, talking about the car market. It is crazy right now. I'm definitely intrigued to see what we'll be seeing in like August of this year. Hopefully things have been, getting slightly better for the consumer. But yeah. Again, just with how everything kind of just been going with the economy in itself, obviously not surprised. Again, I'm gonna have to probably do a video going over like the repos, like the record number of those that we're getting right here. We kind of showed me like, okay, so they're really kind of just getting anybody, I guess, with some of these loans. I guess they haven't really been doing too much verification on that. And yeah, even with that, people are not even able to, get things right. And I know like people have been losing jobs and stuff, but a lot of these repos aren't just people, just every person is just now just losing their job. It's just seeing the craziness of everything else increasing. And then they decide like, hey, either I pay so much for this car or I'll pay for my lights. Of course, it's more important to pay for your lights. So, it is what it is there. But anyway, guys, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on the car market. Are you interested in buying a used car? Have you bought a used or a new car recently? What do you think, price is going to actually be getting better for the actual consumer? You think it's going to be this year? You think it will be next year? Definitely intrigued to hear your guys' thoughts on that. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.